Dynasty Warriors has been a long-running series, but in 2014, Nintendo released a spin-off title with Team Ninja, known as Hyrule Warriors. I have played a few Dynasty Warrior games. They were solid, but I wasn't sold on the Zelda spin-off. The game turned out to be far from perfect, but I loved it, so when Nintendo announced Fire Emblem Warriors, needless to say, I was excited. Years of trying to get people into the Fire Emblem series with varying success, I have been a fan for a long time, and if any game could be turned into a hack and slash Warzone game, this was probably the one. Fire Emblem is known for having some pretty elaborate stories. Dynasty Warriors, from what I've played, doesn't. And the story definitely goes more in the direction of small-scale warrior style than what the Fire Emblem series is known for. Two new characters, Rowan and Leanne, the royal twins of Aetolis, wow, cannot believe I got that right on the first try, are casually practicing some swordplay before the kingdom comes under attack. The queen dies and... Pause. Hold up. Rewind there, guys. I got a bone to pick with this. Not the scene itself or anything, but why? Why does every Fire Emblem game have to kill the family? Ike's entire family dies. Chrome's sister, Corrin's mother. I mean, guys, this is Nintendo, not Disney. Stop killing the families, damn it. Okay. Yeah, so you have your quest to fill out the Fire Emblem, defeat the kingdoms, avenge your mother's death. It's not the most compelling story by any stretch. It's sort of cliche and predictable, but it's not really bad. You do get to see the Fire Emblem Awakening characters along with the Birthright and Conquest characters, and you have some interactions with them, but it is far from what the previous games in the Fire Emblem series are known for.
But how is that even possible?
Fire Emblem Warriors throws the traditional strategy RPG style out for the hack and slash style of the Warriors games. It combines a number of the series' best known characters into the game, but I was very disappointed that none of the Radiance games with Ike and company were present. Radiant Dawn might be one of my favorite games, and none of those characters having an appearance kind of sucks. I guess I'll just have to fight for my friends another time. The goal of the game is to run around slaying as many enemies as humanly possible, while capturing and defending bases. A few noticeable differences from the Hyrule Warriors spin-off was the strategy that Fire Emblem is known for was actually kept in the game. You can pick from your roster of characters, swapping them in and out. You can also change the position of each character and give them different assignments. Mid-battle, you can also direct characters anywhere on the map. So if you are across map and you have a fort being captured, just send someone that's closer. It's a blessing, and I'm so glad they finally put it in the game. The other thing I'm glad to say, you can switch characters on the fly. You have your main fighters, and you can cycle through them with ease. Why this wasn't a thing before baffles me, but it is here now, and I love it. On the subject of improvements, the actual fighting is much improved too. Fighting mini-bosses and bosses does not take a century to finish anymore, and the pace of play feels much faster. You can also use the iconic Fire Emblem support system to help you out in battle. There are a couple small Fire Emblem add-ons as well, like the weapons triangle, class upgrades, and the skill list. The game really does feel like a traditional Fire Emblem game in a lot of respects. Mixing that with the upgrade grid,
That actually went well.
mixing that with,
That actually went well.
I said,
That actually went well.
That actually went well. That actually went well. That actually went well. That actually went well. That actually went well.
yeah, you see this? This is a problem. You have like over 20 characters, each with a new grid every time you unlock them. You probably buy 30 to 50 upgrades at a time. Okay, actually that might be a stretch, but at least 15 to 25 between chapters. Ignoring the lack of some sort of auto upgrade, which I would have killed for by the end, you have to listen to this stupid voice dialogue every single time you buy an upgrade.
Masterful.
I shouldn't have to mute my TV in a bloody menu. That's ridiculous. Okay, what's the score at? 3 for good, 2 for bad? I don't even know. Doesn't matter. The game really does play well despite my slight rage moments, and has great improvements on the strategy aspects of previous games. But I'm gonna keep hearing those voices in my nightmares. If this is what the rumored traditional Fire Emblem game is going to look like, I am 100% a-okay with that. As for this game, seeing previous characters from the 3DS in full 1080 HD 3D models looks great. I wish I could say the same for the enemy characters. I do get that there are give or take a few hundred, if not a few thousand of enemies on the screen, but the other fort bosses and stuff really have no creativity to them. The one other big note, the voice acting. It's not that it's bad, but certainly some of the regular voice actors from the other games were not in this one. Lucina and Robin are the first to come to mind, but I'm sure there are others.
Right. Time to change strategy.
The Gristone army has recruited a dark mage named Valadon.
It's not a big deal, but it was a little strange and slightly off-putting. The levels were decent, nothing awe-inspiring, but I don't really think it's a big deal in this kind of a game. I mean, it's a war zone out there. You're not going to get bright, colorful scenery most of the time. The game has 20 chapters, which amounts to give or take 8 to 10 hours. You do have 3 difficulties to beat each level on. If you like to unlock stuff, you have Anna's Memento in each level, which you unlock by completing a task in the level. You do also have History Mode, which is completing a few objectives to progress in beating a classic moment in the Fire Emblem series. And they also have plans for DLC. Other than that, you're not getting that much out of this game. Fire Emblem Warriors takes some very good strides in the strategic field of the Warriors series. It sucks that every game is $80 nowadays, because this is a very good game. But $80 is brutal for the amount of content. What's not brutal, and is also free? Last week's review. Check it out here. Along with A Tale of Three Idiots. It's exactly what it sounds like. Until next time, later internet.